Skalpa pe sangyastong kangla kang dutela terchunpa stunba chandra zeglang chatsalu ngatos delek Ladakh lopto phande chokspe losare khak tang pe skaps derenge ngatang eskundon so Chokyong Palga Rinpoche chok Civis kundon pa Padmashri abangurup namjalle ajang durjes takmole yang tena chokla jan yang skundon palanjas Pamalangas, loptuk sokspa sosose uskyong langas, yang tenang yang mixalir so, maungs pe Ladakh se yotzen, maungs pe Ladakh po yarga se lameka kirkan, loptuk langas sangmala, derenge losare khak tangpena, ngija sangmala ning tapanir, gasujuat sangmala jule losar la tashis delex. Chakdap salna japekshik gangshan jikyo, thukjeche. Kasa tene changma sangan la tene nge gasui sungshat difya tene Ladakh loptuk phande chokspe tene public relation chamsku rigzin dolma tene ikasku juste jua phulenju rigzin dolma public relations LSWSD.
Good morning and a warm word of welcome to everyone. I, Rixan Dolma, on behalf of Ladakh Student Welfare Society Delhi, feels extremely honored to have this opportunity to address you on this occasion of our annual Losar Celebration Day 2019. We are delighted to have you with us in this celebration. Ladakh Student Welfare Society is a non-profit society that operates with a mission to collectively work towards the upliftment of cultural, religious and social welfare of the Ladakhi community step by step. We also provide essential help to the patients in need from Ladakh with their treatment here in the country's capital. We welcome and would like to wish you all a happy and a prosperous New Year. This is all more a precious moment for us as this day underlines our society's successful endeavor in learning our culture and values as the children of Ladakh. We as the youth understand that our role in binding together the society we live in is essential and even more so in stepping it for the better. So we have curated a day of meaningful discussion and dialogue along with showcasing a spectrum of talents of young minds full of vim and vigor from Ladakh. This annual Losar celebration is envisioned as a platform to share our culture, values, environmental concerns and educational avenues. The duty which is assigned upon me is to welcome every one of you to our grand event. First, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest, His Eminence the 8th Chokyong Palga Rinpoche, and all the other dignitaries who would be sharing their time with us today. All of you are esteemed specialists among us here today. This year, our theme is Harmony in Diversity. We find it similar with the Ladakhi way of life where communities live peacefully while having regard for each other's differences. Our upbringing has enabled us to believe that the power of unity, which infuses respect for others, in spite of being bound by diversities, come to think of it. Diversity exists in the most wonderful of things. In the colors of the rainbow, in the notes of music, in the hues of Pangong Tso. It is only these elements of different that comes together can we absorb the true beauty of it all. And so, on this note, I would like to hand over the mic to Thardot for further proceedings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rixan Dolma, for your warm welcome. Thank you very much. Koni fe chapdap chikle. Tujech. Kasa tange isting ne derenge tenenga tai skundon so Chokyong Palga Rinpoche choga tene mixale tenenga tai loptuk munnang yang memang sungni dunla tene sungchos kyang chesi fyang ye Rinpoche skundon la jiwa pulen chapsal sabenanga khen objal ji sa chapdap gangshan ji tene Rinpoche skundun la ngaja Ladakh lok tukande chokspe tene lachet pa changme choks ne ning tappa ne tukje che juat tene Rinpoche skundun ne tene izam tene tusot ringchan bo tene mouse pe Ladakh se gyudzem mun nangku ga tene shang skul che se pya tene khon ne tene madik pe monpa sil che se pya Rinpoche skundun tarigi chukni si jagang tene buddha vyara tene Rinpoche skundun phepsten pin yang diringan tene Rinpoche skundun ngati junga phepsten ok atang changma dunba tene ma sode sotnam chan song sama rakju tukje che kaza Rinpoche che
बेस पे कर रखी है ऑडियो उससे कैमरा पता नहीं चलता है
First of all, I would like to thank Ladakh Student Union President and his members for inviting me today to speak on this wonderful occasion at this place, at this stage. Even though I do not consider myself to be an educated person, even though I do not consider myself to be a man of experience, but thank you nevertheless for bestowing this honor on me. The world, I think, is shrinking at a very fast rate. I've been around the world. I've traveled extensively. Ever since I was 19, I started with England, where I lived and studied, and afterwards I've traveled further west to the Americas. I lived in Europe, different countries. I studied, I worked, I taught, I gained experience. I saw a lot of things. One thing that I saw, which is common in every society, wherever I went, was that the world is becoming a smaller place. We're getting overpopulated in many different areas, different countries. Our food is becoming more and more scarce. Our natural resources are being depleted at a phenomenal rate. We are talking about natural disasters which were unimaginable a few decades ago. In Ladakh, a region which I've always been very proud of being a Ladakhi. Ladakh is a very small region. I would like to mix a little bit with Ladakhi sometimes, yeah? Ladakh's very small place. It's very small. Ladakh when we go abroad, such a small place, but small yet extremely diverse. Diverse in tolerance of religion, culture, tradition, way of living, way of thinking, music, the way we dress. Even within Ladakh, within the different regions of Changthang, and you go to Kargil, Nubra, Leh, Zanskar, even within Ladakh, within this small region, you have so many diverse ways, diverse way of living, diverse ways of speaking and leading one's life. And we as human beings, because I'm a Buddhist, so I have to speak sometimes from a Buddhist point of view. Because we are human beings, according to the Buddha, we are always very selfish. We always think about ourselves before We do not seem to care much about others, the same way that we seem to care about ourselves. When we get out of our bed in the morning, we do it for ourselves. When we brush our teeth, when we wash our faces, when we hail a cab, when we drive our own car, when we enter a bus, when we go somewhere, we do it for our own sake. When we meet someone, we shake their hands for our own benefit. We are designed by nature. Because of eons and eons of habituation, we have become accustomed to think only about ourselves, to be selfish and not to be selfless. What happens when we lead such a life? We become greedy. We want everything for ourselves. We think about ourselves. We think about our way of life. We think about my religion, my way of living life, my way of speaking. And because of our ego, we think that we are always right. But then what happens? You have disharmony. You have disagreements. Of course, if everybody starts thinking that everybody is right, then obviously there's going to be conflict, there's going to be disharmony. And in today's day and age, where, for example, in Ladakh, we have people coming from the east, we have people coming from the west, we have people dropping on our heads with airplanes, and I joke that soon, one day, there will be people coming from underneath the earth. Our place is going to get less diverse if we are not careful about our future, if we do not tolerate each other. In Ladakh, we have Buddhists, we have Shia, we have Sunni, Christians, Hindus. Since I was young, I've seen, I've witnessed, I've heard, but I've seen with my own eyes what happens when there is disharmony, when there is conflict within such a small region. Forget the whole world. Forget about the wars, forget about all the problems that is ongoing in the world. We just talk about Ladakh. I've seen so many things in my own lifetime. I'm only 34 years old. I've seen lots of fights between religions. And within sects, I've also seen a lot of issues. I think there still are a lot of issues that we face. My endeavor in my life, what I'm always talking about, my agenda in Ladakh, me as a person, and this should apply to all of us, is that we should not focus on our differences, we should focus on what's common between us. We should focus on humanity. We should not focus on religion. We should not focus on our way of talking, clothing. Yeah? Because even though we are diverse, we have different religions, we have different ways of thought, living, we can still live in harmony, and I think that's very important. Me, for example, I come from Chushud. Majority of my neighbors, they are Shia Muslims. Did I ever have any problem with them? Never. I think I had more problem with Buddhists than I had with my neighboring Shia neighbors. They've always been kind to me. Yes, I've never bothered them. My family has never bothered them. They've never bothered us. We have never focused on our differences. We've always been polite to each other. We've treated each other humanely. People talk about treating animals with humanity, humanely, with compassion. Forget about that. If we cannot treat humans humanely, with humanity, how can we treat animals? Forget about all sentient beings. Sama zero no pa semshan tamcha. Matang mina nyampo chigni chiga izzat choste sambal demo nyampo tangste spiral demo tangste mata nankuga hale khatpar buchidu tega samba mata nankuga thulmung buchidu common buchidu tega samba mata jimbota industi chigni chiga insanet nyampo spera mata na semshan bunda boramle semshan samata boramle tharing spera na pa kumang matang mi chigni chiga barches shukches chuluk chigni chiga indo within religions chuluk nanku gitene yang khram chuluk khram indo hale te nanku indo Yul indoor. Space on a leba in Ladakh, for example, because I'm from Chushut, from central area, we say Changpa, Shamma, Zanskarpa, Nuvrapa, and we say bad things about them. We're creating disharmony. Khachi, Balti, Boto, Hindu, Christian. We're creating disharmony. We should be compassionate to each other. We should be patient with each other. We should be respectful to each other, irrespective and regardless of our religions, of our way of life. We should be like a beautiful garden where there is a diverse amount of flowers. If you do any research, for example, about, I don't know if many of you know about the coral reefs in Australia. Underneath the ocean, there is a very beautiful phenomenon to witness, and it's called coral reefs. They have such diverse amount of colors, shapes, and different animals that reside within them. Why am I talking about this? Because it's so beautiful, it's so diverse, and everything is in harmony. The only disharmony that's happening to the coral reefs, for example, is the bleaching of all the acidity in the oceans, which is making them all white, making them unattractive. And that's what's happening to our societies also. We are being bleached by hatred, by intolerance. We are being bleached by egoism, by selfishness. We are being bleached by greed and only thinking about ourselves. We should be compassionate. That is the teachings of all religions. We should be loving to each other. That is also the teachings of all religions. Unless we do this, I don't see a very good future for Ladakh. Being a Ladakhi, I'm always repeating myself that I'm very concerned about my region, about our kingdom, about our district, whatever it is. Even though we are very small, even though our future looks bleak, I think even now, if we are careful, if we can start to respect each other and live in harmony, focus on what's common between us, focus on our common challenges, I think we can have a good future. My work, what I'm doing in Ladakh, is focused on that. I'm not there to create a new sect. I'm not there to become a millionaire. I'm not there to become famous. I'm back in Ladakh. I can live anywhere I want. I've been to Europe, I've been to the West. I can live there comfortably. But I chose to come back to Ladakh after all these years of traveling and teaching and studying. Because I see that Ladakh right now is at a very critical juncture. And I really worry about our future. Wherever I teach, I always talk about compassion. I always talk about harmony within our religions, a way of lives. And I'm sure that you have heard this many times, not only from me, you must have heard this. But we really need to practice it. We need to practice this. Ladakhis, we have this habit, we talk a lot. Dimbale, barang boshante bordugle, demon gera zeru gele. Tas pera tan chis butse kamar, last chis butse mar man hai samara. Ladakh slamata challenges man podu pale. Tourism man man po sonte no, mi man po yonse no, environment so po sonte no, zigmo man po chano, suicide cases man po chano, nanma metka ni ngata zuma minta depression, anxiety se kan damdere yonse no, drugs a problem kyagle, environment a problem kyagle. Hawaii jazz ticket a problem kya ya la wa chana ne chigara cha so la kirmostong issue sumchur tang samira ya gunna yuwa chuan samne ya tena so kirmostong jipchu ngapchuri tang so par deja sheni mi du position de achana ticket chat bus kya kirmostong ngapchu tang so yos kya te on challenge ni no pa thore jinga du position na hal kirmostong ngapchu tang no bache mera pa chunji no pa tai na environmentally ngata dasa ziksang charchu tu se gamibab ches which is something Ata environment pu nyana ma chon pa. Ati microclimate. Inchesta jixten gangpo tunno songte no. Ina mata Ladakh se pura microclimate tu mata jik chukste no pale. Bam gada kimsa shaks pa, tutpa kazuk lang ma pata no pa. Te opposite bonga dukse no pa. Bawar tangste kerosene me tutpa tangste hale mata mane tena fossil fuel mangpu ji mata hale. Zas manpa chen mata mangpu ji mes parte samje tutpa lang so Ladakh samje obgel duk tong challenges no pale. Tena manpa chuluk chigi naku mata tene zingmo tangches chini chiga barches mata Ladakh se yule challenges mapu duk samara tama champo mais pe ma tizim shi nga shesame I don't know that much because I'm not an expert nga expert ji man khaspa ji man le mik pe se duat ina ma khaspa os machang man ma sang khaspa mo pe ko juksu kya sting ni khonguni kalop sal chi sino yanangu na chama tuksam sal shes kan shkan kai no educated shkan kai no dan directus la Ladakh pas kan bo jaga malep se jiman duk biru ngan ma chokshina dilia sum bina ma tak khana pale dang diri Cambodia no Vietnam na Sri Lanka no Thailand espera man duk biru pa ठीक है ना पाले जिक्तें से खोर को सना जिक थोंग को सना कि माता यूल बुत्सम जो चुन दुग जगन मा थोंग ते नोपा जिक सना खोर को सना ले माना जिक पे प्यार माना जिक पो छाना डिग सब मिसम चेस माना जिक पो होटल जी छाना डिग गेस्ट हाउस छाना डिग बोरिंग सुम जिक फिंग्स ते होटल जिक चोस ते टैक्सी खशिक बोरते माना टॉप डाउन डिग सब मिसम चेस जन्मा संबा तंग चेस ले तेजु मचना मते यूल बो जिक छाना पा ले ता कोन जिक ते दुग रुपा स्पेशल ना rule sar de dum rupala kuchona zingmona chingni chiga barches na tena mane cham dum rupala rangdo chipane Ladakh se na chipa yo kyakle nampa yo kyakle Hindu Christian mangpu nyampu duk su kyak mata khomun phingya na mano khomun ngatang phingya na mano that is a fact you demba jigno pa ta chonna barti chipan chonna zingmona se chipan kagun Ladakh pe miin chuluk kazuk shigina chingni chi pya chana gosle ka Ladakh pe migin hale chulu kazu shigilla chini chiga mata izzat na nyampo chams ninje na nyampo zopa na nyampo dukches bomba khachan duk samar mata na ko khatpar bochi dite ko tuksam sala maza mata na ko thuno bochi dite ko tuksam sal sengi joate onyale on poji miju derin shma to potsek let sumni ka yongches bo traffic ta tamu ya zundang na traffic dukse ser dun mita hai traffic ta dizar soko mirup inna red light khashi ka left right tang satte ka traffic soko dukle teka ngaja chek mathare yale te man to traffic ठीक tukole tena hore ga minute choangi shugur tukle te ma to putsek lerso ta isti ni mata kana skundon tarum khaspa mampo ringi ka phepsu tikdu mata chang ma sang khaspa mampo ekya teni komuni kalo pokazuk saldu teni ngeramuna kalo na stunte teni ngeramuna chikta mekkami itsos speech nyam goshes mekyakle mekkami ngeramuna itsos kalo ji nyam goshes mekyakle ngeramuna mikpestang na namchok pestang stana samo thong jine no pa mano chik tuksam salam mati chui future hale atan right tene chu guni future pia no pa abi meme aba ma guni Ladakh poshkon se mata lakbe na kyon se no ta daksa ngaje lakpa no pa ngaje generation I jonu guni lakpa no pa le Ladakh se future bo kazuk sheker go shi sin sagan bo ngena guni chimi guni habja sala zat chimi guna gela yong duk sokko yong duk le tangbo ma spi chimi khashigi labja gela sala meru thugo no marhande nastambu I thugo na toshe serka mo bom du gele suicide chi pe chustano thate suicide chuste mono pale depression chi pe yosano thate depression yosano mono pale anxiety chi pe yosano thate chuste mono pale hama guna pressure chek tangu sano silches wilches na te sames kolla ati future espera pa dini ka phama khashi du pa platform chair son ba sami zul juste ne dang janga nomojinya prosperason ko de pare cerca shanti dukle family shonne man pressure shanti family gala met pasam ko toshes pressure antu juju ngena chimi guna thugo na chiposh kon chuga mazat chimi gune lapa mangpo ngena mune shiz chen zimedari chen modu jodiale thugo na stoppo duk chang shesa miru dilia khorti duk sila miru jese gyara chandigarh ino jammu ino sila miru jese sippe ga jarta pora mazat yu mata ra thugo no iguna mata habja gala salna gala labna kunguna shesa na lam hagwan gale sami tuksam sal boshis dupa junu guni tuksa sal boshis no mati future pia kazo mata jivana ni podu goshisin Ladakh se yul bu kazo yarges mata kyongoshisin Ladakh se yul na ko etkane shkyon supon kazo mata pingoshisin thugun tuksam sal boshisin no chimiguna tuksam sal boshisin no sama Then lobjong skola education ma khachan no kole. Marang sok shigina lamdo ne kala sumpam nispa sunte kone masil zele. Then Ramalinga nam chilo kachu. Where are my glasses again jit no ma chun zagi tura hale. Ramalinga again yura to konjit no mate o mani silvicious le. This thing savelama tene tindon tulgujita tindon chustena munzin zatena gompal lepteno tateka ngara ansik tachi dechina silches sek shkewaman me pakchagene chinchi silches pochek thalapin te ngara silindux pasam education mangyuji ngara last English Hindi tene skadik jenma kun computer zera soksale education ma kaksan duk pale nga shestan khashi gyot communizir lobjong nga lobjong ikpina ni minda chochera zirkle khol lobjong make injina isam bullshit dukli ko nganma mane rode ka dukan miwo isam chukbo gyutte taraki chukon gyutte tu gale lobjong ikpina ko ikpina chi machos ka pos samti dukta ta dasa ladasa ziksan sukul kami bishisas miru pale sukul gun mane first class ठीक ठाक दो sukul mampu do teacher angel ki do ladasa daksa ta nga mampu ji education school mampu gyus me arik thomzo zena ladasa daksa chi miru zena university gale ki miru samar gale tolop te ina tsosa zurla ngi diring eka student mampu tara ngi chama chi juinle ata special na ladasla mata himis gumbe yokpeka naropa university sesena sewela matene gerong rupe chik somaj found jozate no hale teka mata mane chi dichin Ashoka University no affiliated it's affiliated with the Ashoka University teka mata lobjugun la scholarship ene somayong kan gona scholarship lakh chu chori mane kharcha zagyu thumgyu changma yote no ta kaltes mata tuksam salte choguna met kameta Delhi guna lobjong gala yodjo meker jometle Chandigarh lobjong gala yodjo inna Ladakh skora kaltes juks nyanna demo tuksam Ladakh skora dukstana Ladakh skora ngata chi dichin lam lukshu butu urjeda kono pa temani ngata Delhi mampu dukstana gyagara mampu dukstana gyagara pochuk sharu pale diversity tene ga mekan sharu pale kola konjong gyagara pe kola gonzo choks spera tanzania Ladakh saskadi nangkuga English na Hindi na te samar sheste tangches tene kharji zazong tena burger pizza sandwich tena mane tai dasai ka philo ka ni te sku chudagi kolak baba tegun zache nyosman dug murugle spera tangzane hale ongle kazo zergo shesin te on shesam murugle wa wega dul duk hale Ladakh phangse chachis chigela chachis gyagara chachis skod nang lobjong nam se lokso skod nang mal demono inna tanga ta dangdira Ladakh se yulla facilities ma gela yote nokle sukul gela yote nok universities gunta ta sarchigin jine no te usong basang sangme Ladakh se future school la chek tuksam sal koshis khakshan tuksam ra mangpuji nga tangbu ma spe nga politician ni man academic ni man hare nga mangpuji sperang tang she zemeng spera ta na khata ta no ina tosla nga nyerang ngoni yulmi jigino gele chana yakani yulmi jigino yulpa jigino ni ngara chona ta labja zenna juwa zenna ina chokshigin changme to tuksam borazat tene ta sanga ta yakani question answer session ni da only question answer session ji music borin mola rakpa tene tiwatel ji zat ne
Hello. Check. Tiva sum tia zache se no gale. Tiva yoga mic chikher sar jujo. Tiva le jang ste tia sar.